All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're back tonight. We're playing more Legendinthemist, and we have forgotten how to play. And by we, I mean me, because it's been like 2 weeks, 2 weeks since we played. And I think it's been almost a week since I ran a game. I think I ran Call of Cthulhu. Okay, so that was probably the only thing I've run in the past like 2 weeks. So this is going to be ugly. I wanted to draw your all's attention to your character sheets for a second, because Son of Oak just put out a new video today, as they've been doing how to play videos on their YouTube channel, and one of them was on advancement. We've talked about doing like weaknesses and marking improve and stuff like that, but the other thing that they talked about was your quests. So each of your themes has a quest to it. Do you all remember these? Remember all this? It's all at the very bottom. So if you're looking at the boundary sheet, it's all the way at the very bottom. Okay. So that is definitely something that you should keep an eye on. And like when we hit like a spot where, where we have like a breather, like you can think back, did you like kind of do any of this, or did you like turn away from it? Was there any chance during the course of the adventure where you like hit a milestone or made some kind of progress towards it, or you like ignored it and turned away from it, abandoned it? So something to think about. We try to remember how to play.
Yeah, mine I don't think have come up yet, but I had to make one or two because like when I made kind of some theme book stuff that didn't come from like the book, I had to write a couple of the quests. So that was fun.
One of your quests is so dark. It's wish something would make me forget my pain.
That's from the book.
What the heck?
That one is straight. That's Tavern
Super
Brawler.
Dark.
That is straight from the book. Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. So that's just I think that's just an excuse to just drift into like hardcore alcoholism. Is that what you're gonna do? You're just gonna that why you drink so much?
I think that's pretty much I think that the backstory that's sort of baked into Tavern Brawler. That was one that I did not write. One was Coastal Dweller, and I said, "Let not the land-born spoil our waters."
Sure.
So I haven't figured out that one yet.
I have a bone to pick with Long. Long, one of your quests is I can make that jump. Last session, I'm not sure if you recall, there was a bridge that was out. And you didn't try to make that jump.
I had the same exact thought when I read that line. Like, I could have done
Jack
something
be
there.
nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jungle
Should
with
you
a
mark-
candlestick.
Yeah. Should you mark abandoned on that? I don't know. That's entirely up to you. It's not me to decide whether you do it. It's up to you whether you decide to do it. I'm just saying. Let's see. I feel like a kick is doing a really good job of don't talk so much until you got to Tor Hollow.
Yeah.
Where, like, you were super chatty with your old friend. But up until that point, like, you were crushing that quest. Yeah. Let's see. And then Snaggletooth. Hardship to go around. Let's carry it together is one of his quests. Mr. Positivity.
How sweet.
Yep. It ties in with the Beaverkin one too. Find a place to build a home and then flood it with love. Snaggletooth is a very sappy individual.
Aw, that's beautiful. Okay. Yeah, well, anyhow, I just want to draw your attention to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you. Yeah.
Tor Hollow was definitely the player coming out of the character a little too much.
It's totally fine, though. You don't have to do it like all the time. Like you never have to do it all the time. I also liked how there was that one moment in like our first session when you were really yelling at Lloyd's nemesis, and that's when the mayor overheard you. Remember? So that was nice. So I thought that kind of like dovetailed really nice with your quest about talking too much.
Yeah.
Fun.
I actually think so. For Fisherwoman, the one that I came up with, there's always a fish to be caught, full bellies all around. And I think maybe I did that one when we were prepping to go out to see Auntie Eldrin, because I did like midnight fishing to make sure that we had food.
Sure. So there's really so the way these work, it's a little different than marking improve. Marking improve is really just like you do the weakness. So if you activate a weakness on a roll, you just mark improve, or during one of those downtime things when you try to reflect on that theme in some way, you can mark improve. So with this, it's more of like you're hitting big milestones. So it's like, do you think? So it's not necessarily like a little thing. It's like, do you think that you really like hit a big milestone in terms of of that quest. And it is up to you. It's not like I don't get to say yes or no. It's sort of up to you and whether you think it is, and whether you can sleep at night and live with your soul. But all those things can eventually...
Yeah, not so much with that. It was fun to try to make the argument, but I was half-hearted.
No, you can. I think it's fine. But anyhow, I dropped a link in our private chat to the playlist because it's been helpful going through those and sort of refreshing my memory on some things. But I like the advancement one because there's a couple different things for advancement that you all can get. And since you all started with like origin, all of your themes are origin, you have that opportunity to like eventually like evolve those themes into something more. And then you can kind of take them up to like adventure tier and such. But all right, cool. So anyway, just think about that as I kill you in the mine here. So last time around.
Yeah.
Last time around, you all crashed in the basement of a witch. You had gone to see Auntie Eldrin because there was that those weird symbols on the belly of a whale, basically that had washed up on the shore near your village, and you went to Auntie Eldrin because that it looked like that was language, and so you went there to see if she would translate, and she did. She helped you. And she also gave you a little alphabet, like you have like a little cheat sheet where you can do all the translations yourself now. But she warned you to not leave the basement and to make sure you get the hell out of the cottage before sunrise. And so no one really poked around too much. You guys actually did what she said and you stayed in the basement. You're all good people. And then when morning came, Eldrin was gone. She had taken a bunch of her belongings. Not only that, but she had left a few things. And Morgan, you found an old map on the table. It had all these little markings all around the region, it looked like. Outside, a couple of you were looking around. You found out that in that pit out back where those weird kind of undead creatures were the night before, they were gone. There were tracks that were leading west into the forest, the deeper parts of the forest. And then the sun started to rise and the cottage sank into the earth. It just kind of sank beneath it and it left a handful of things around. A storm had hit the night before. It was a really bad storm. That's why you guys stayed around. And when you started to look around the forest, you can see that it really wrecked some trees and some boughs and some branches and stuff. There was a crow that Auntie Eldrin had named Oswald, who hung around and is now perched atop Snaggletooth's shoulder and is currently a backpack item basically for him for a little while. You guys headed back through the ghost metal and eventually you made it, as I mentioned before, to this canyon. There was a rope bridge that you all had crossed. But when you found it, it looked as though the storm had caused the bridge to snap. Morgan, you decided to use the fishing rod to hook the other side of the bridge and then reel it back up where Kick and Lloyd kind of did some repairing of it and you made it functional again. You crossed over. You had a choice to make. Do you go back to Isvik? Do you go down to Torhalla? Because you heard some weird stuff going on down there. You heard that down in that mining town to the south, there was some kind of like cave-in during the first fall festival. And they had discovered some kind of old rock that had similar kinds of language as you saw on your whale. And you decided to go down to Torhalla. While on your way, I think at one point it might have been Lloyd who saw some carrion birds at one point circling around this rocky slope. And when you investigated, you found this gigantic serpent's carcass that was laying split open as if something had burst out of its back. And you made a note of it, went down to town. Kick and Lloyd, you went and met with Foreman Aldwin Matthews, who Kick had some history with. And apparently he had history with Auntie Eldrin as well, as we learned. Morgan Snaggletooth, you went to the tavern with the Stone Lamp Tavern. You spoke with Mona, who was one of the people there. And you had learned that apparently there was some knocking going on in the mines that had stopped. And as cleanup was happening, 4 miners were they disappeared. And so that was like the thing between yesterday or so when you met some travelers on the road and you arriving. 4 miners had gone missing as they were cleaning up from the tunnel collapse. And so the foreman led you, Foreman Matthews, he led you into the mines down to this unearthed obelisk, essentially. And you can see that it had the etchings of the old tongue. And you were able to translate it. And it was, again, another omen of the Unmaker. And it had the same cadence, same rhythm, same meter. All veins run dry. All peaks give way. The earth's deep bones are broken. Everything has that same kind of cadence. And right as you finished translating it, that's when suddenly the knocking that we had heard before started happening again. So that is where we left off. So I'm going to start up. All of you are there. We're in this we're in this circular cavern. There is think of it like there's a ridge, and then there's in the center of it, even deeper, is where we can see this unearthed obelisk. It's maybe like half up out of the ground. It is not in like great condition by any stretch of the imagination. It's certainly old and fractured and cracked here and there. And there are walls all along the sides that aren't smooth. It hasn't been mined. You can tell this circular cavern has just recently opened. There is one path that goes out of here, which is the path you came in, and you can hear coming from 3 different spots around the outer wall of this cavern the knocking. Let's see. Snaggletooth.
Okay.
How do you think you're reacting to this?
Well, I don't really know a whole lot about what's going on there. I mean, he'd probably just be looking around, maybe putting the ear to the ground to see if he can like get a better idea of like where stuff's coming from. He's not a strongly perceptive character when it comes to tags, but I think that would be the initial gist. Like, he's been in sea caves before, so like maybe when he's in the sea caves, he usually puts his ear to the ground to see if he can hear where the water's at. So maybe that's just instinctively what he does here too.
Thunder? Waves make okay, so you go around and you listen, and you can tell, like, you can start to triangulate, and there are kind of 3 spots along one wall. I'll call it the northern or the southern wall. Think of it again. Think of it like a big circular cavern with one way out, and then in like a depression in the middle of the cavern is where the obelisk is coming out. Up on the ridge, which is what hits the walls, is where you hear it. And there's 3 spots, maybe about 3 or 4 feet from each other. It's all fairly localized, but you can definitely hear it. It is, and as you listen in, there's not like a steady rhythm. It's not like there's just like one continuous knocking to suggest that like it might be something natural. It almost sounds like someone's communicating, because it's like rapid, and then there's a pause, and then there's like really loud pounding, then there's a pause, and then there's this and that. Like, it doesn't sound like it's naturally made.
Okay.
You think there's something or someone on the other side of this wall.
I mean, does this world have the equivalent of Morse code, or something really similar?
Possibly.
I
would say if you wanted to figure that out, that I would ask for a roll.
Okay.
To see if there's something maybe from lore.
Man, I don't have a whole lot. I am resourceful. Yeah, I don't really have much I could put towards that.
Okay.
I think the best I think he would do is he might like knock in a rhythm and see if they reply to it.
Okay.
Like, he can't necessarily think of any sort of code. He thinks for a second. He's like, I don't know. Okay.
So
and he'll just wait and see if they'll
knock on the wall, and you definitely hear like there's a pause after you knock, and then moments later it responds, and you can hear it like kind of repeats your rhythm. Definitely somebody was communicating. You don't know if there's like anything more than just them confirming that it was that you had said something, but they're definitely trying to
whatever's behind there, it ain't like that thing by the tree. Whatever this is, it heard and it understood and it's replying. I think somebody's in there. There might be the people who was missing even.
Ain't nobody missing. And that's not natural there.
You don't think you're talking to a whale again, do you?
No. Yeah, I heard them say there was people that gone missing or something like that, and these people are responding. I don't know how they get behind that, but we need to do something.
Keck will look at Aldwin. This is his mine. I don't like it. I don't think it's natural.
So he'll like waddle over towards where Snaggletooth is, and he'll listen in, and he'll be like, I do hear something in here. I think you're Beaverkin. Hello? That you? He's like knocking, and he's calling a name, but you're not hearing, like the wall is too thick to really hear anything come back, but he's calling like a name, and he calls out a couple more as well. It's like, it's definitely someone in there. Who are you? And there's never anything back. You never quite hear voices come through. There is a little bit of a tremble at this point as you're standing there, and you can feel like some dirt and some loose rocks come down from the rooftop. It's not like a full-on earthquake, but you can definitely tell that this place is not reinforced. You went through some of the mine and you saw those structural reinforcements. This is like an open cavern with reinforcements whatsoever.
So
okay,
Morgan, I have something very much stretching a tag, but I'd like to make an argument for it. So Morgan has her scaling knife, and one of her tags from Coastal Dweller is attuned to weather. So what I would like to see Morgan do is she's looking for, and I know this isn't weather so much as like air movement. So she kind of wants to like use the knife and use her like sensitivity to wind and air motion to kind of tap her all around the room and see if she can hear or feel a change in air movement or something like that. So this is the stretch of argument that
was a hell of a stretch. That's a hell of a stretch, but you really made sense
like something
of it. So
I would try to argue.
I'll just say go for it. Yeah. So roll 2d6, add your scaling knife, add your attune to weather as you try to get the gust of wind or whatever coming out of here. Go for it.
11.
11. Oh my God. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I rolled a 9 plus the 2 tags.
You're moving across that like the southern rim, kind of where Snaggletooth is and now where the foreman is. And you can't find anything there, but you do see kind of over towards the western side, or maybe the southwestern side of this circular cavern. You do feel like a little bit of air, and then you're able to kind of get your knife back, and you see a little crease in the rock, and it definitely looks like a pocket of earth, or I say a pocket of air behind it. Definitely looks like there's room back there.
Oi! There's over here. There's a bit of a breeze, and I think we could maybe we can get in over that way, maybe.
But Aldwin, this is not a safe mine shaft. You got to get your men in here to secure it and shore it up before you do anything like this.
Everyone's scattered about right now. We don't know how long this thing's going to take. Come on, you've got a strong back. Come on now. And he's like waddling over now to where Morgan, because he's a big dude, big furry, like mutton chops type of thing. And he's coming over and he's trying to reach his big old fingers through it. And he's like, there's picks. And he points out towards the tunnel that you came back. And you remember there was like a staging area where there's a lot of different equipment. So you have the ability to go fetch things if you would like.
As I've got sorry about they're not coming for me.
The cops coming.
They are not coming for me. As a Highlander,
that's who should go in the mine and save these people.
As a Highlander, I got mountaineering. Can I kind of assess the mine while I go and grab a pickaxe or the mine shaft?
Absolutely. So you want to you definitely know that this place is suffered recently, but if you want to maybe use your knowledge to try to figure out where might be a safe place to kind of hack into the wall, you could certainly do that.
This seems unstable. Okay, so then I'm going to use Mountaineer and Highlander, and then that's probably the main basis. I don't think I'm smashing.
And I would say in this scene, Foreman Aldwin is here, so you can tap into him as well as a tag, so you can get another. Oh, yes. Another thing
I will get a +1 from him as well.
Okay.
I will just add a 1 modifier.
Do you want to tap into unintentional breakage?
Oh no, you're right.
Bring the whole cat. You don't have to.
Right. No, you're right. This is where it. Yes. I do want to have. This is going to be.
Would improvisers as one of our tags fit in with this as well? One of our team.
If you want to say you burn it, you can burn it. Remember, it's different. You only get the one.
I already rolled. I already rolled,
right.
And I rolled a 6 with not 0 power. Okay. Here's I'm going to collapse the mine shaft on us now.
You grab some tools. You rush back. You and Aldwin start moving along the rock wall, and he looking for safe pockets. And he's warning you, and he's like, "Be careful where you put that thing." Because it's not just bringing everything down, but you could sometimes there's pockets of gas and things. And so what's going to happen is you go and you swing into a spot where you think is going to be good, And he's like, no, 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 no. And right as you do, like the pick like smashes into the rock, and you see the rock crumble, and then this gust of like gas just explodes into your face. Give yourself like blind 2. In the sense like your eyes are now all kind of messed up because like something just burst into your face. Doesn't mean you're like you can see, but it's like you're having trouble for a little while as some nasty gas is just kind of exploded into your eyes.
Oh no!
Nonetheless, it does seem to have opened a small hole in the wall, and like as the gas eventually, that little vein seems to expel all of whatever it was in it, half into Kick's face and then half into the air. It does leave like something that you could potentially crawl through and kind of get back behind the wall itself. Lloyd, are you doing anything in this situation?
Yeah. Well, looks like I can fit under there. If someone
I think
needs
you
help,
can.
if these mines went Isvig, I'd for sure help them. So let me get in there.
And I'll start crawling through.
Okay. All right, so you start
Mr.
crawling
Acrobatic.
through, and no roll to crawl through. But what you see as you crawl through, and you have your lantern on you that actually, no, yours is damaged. I think yours is damaged, right?
Yeah, I haven't been able to
He used it as a weapon or something, and he smashed it.
Yeah,
But
I think you have yours is damaged. Do you have any? Does anyone give him a light source?
Morgan and Snaggletooth are the only two with hip lanterns left. I gave mine to
I'll give him
Aldwin.
mine.
Okay, so Snaggle, you want to huck it, and you give it over to Lloyd. Lloyd, you start crawling through. And what you see on the other side is you see 3 people. And they all seem to be kind of caught up in this this kind of cave-in of rock. And it doesn't look like there's you can't stand back here. Everything is kind of piled up in different ways. But you see 3 figures. None of them look very big at all. They almost look like kids at first glance. They look like just a couple feet tall. And one of them, their head turns in your direction. And when you see their face, it's like this gnarly, it almost looks like an old man's face. It's gnarly. It's got all sorts of these ridges and wrinkles. You can see these big, bushy eyebrows. You shine the light in their face, and they kind of turn away as if the light itself was bothering them. And like you hear, turn it away! What's wrong with you? Oh, God, it burns! Oh, you deaf fool! As they call out, as the light looks like, I don't know, maybe you've never seen anything like this before, but they just look like tiny little old men.
Hello? Are you the missing miners?
No, I'm not the missing miners. You give us a hand. Oh, goodness, we're trying to warn you, fools, not to... give us a hand.
And you see a hand reach out in your direction. And it's like this, it's got like four fingers instead of 5. Thumb and, it's got like kind of a thumb and 3. It's like almost like a Homer Simpson kind of hand. And it's a fairly big hand. They've got like these big, gnarly looking knuckles. And as they like reach out, you can tell their hand is kind of grayish. Like the skin itself has got this gray tint to it.
Well, grab on then. I'll help you out.
And you reach out, you grab his hand, and it is like, it's almost like leather. It's like it's so calloused and so hard. And it says, all right, boys, everyone take a chain. And so like all of them start hooking together themselves. And like you see, like they poke out one arm, the other person puts the other arm in. They're like, all right, you big fool, go ahead and pull.
Get ready now.
I just told you already, pull.
I'm pulling.
Before the whole thing comes down.
I'm pulling as hard as I can.
I'll pull you. I've got you. And Morgan wants to try to pull Lloyd to help Lloyd pull them.
We can do a group roll. Everyone can contribute a tag if they want to this moment. And you can do like a little chain that kind of pulls these figures out. Okay. What all do you want to pull?
Lift heavy loads.
Or use, I should say.
I'll use my stores of rope to help with this, I think.
Okay. All right, so maybe you hand a rope over and they kind of loop it around and such, just because it's Lloyd on his own wasn't able to necessarily pull it. That's 2. What do you got, Snaggletooth?
I've got Country Strong and holds and grapples. It's got a strong grip.
Country Strong will do. I think everyone's going to contribute one.
Okay.
This is like a group roll. So that's one from each of you. And then Lloyd, what do you got?
Our village. We're in it. We own it.
You're not. You're in mine. Half a day away from your village. What are you talking about?
But you're acrobatic, right? Acrobatic agility.
Yeah.
Dodge harm. You're trying to pull these people out of a what looks like something that's going to collapse down on top of you all.
Okay.
I think dodge harm makes sense. All right, so go ahead and roll it for us then. Long, you've got dodge harm, and you've got +3 from your friend. Actually, take +4 because I would say the form would probably help out here. So 2d6 plus 5 total. It sounds like
You got this.
Okay. 12 total.
okay.
Wow.
Okay, so you all 1, 2, 3, 4, and then eventually you hear like the sounds of each of them, whatever these creatures are on the other side, screaming and some in pain, some kind of cursing. But you manage to pull all 3 of them out from behind this collapsed wall, and you pop back out into the circular cavern where the obelisk is. And as they pop out, each of them are like,
Oh, the light! What's for all the light?
They said they hate the light. Turn it down.
You. Oh, goodness.
And you can see each of them is maybe like just a couple feet tall. They all wear clothes not unlike which you've seen many of the miners and Tor Hollow wear. But they are certainly much smaller. Each of them, like one of them has like a big bushy kind of gray beard over top of graying skin. Their eyes are a little reflective in a strange way when the light kind of comes onto them. And they have like tools here and there, but you can tell that they're injured. Some of them either like they look like they're bleeding from different places here and there. It's like a dark reddish, almost brown blood. And then like one of them looks as though like their leg might be broken. And then the third one almost looks like they've suffered some horrible gouge like across their body. But all of them are maybe about 3 or 4 feet tall. And yeah, I would say unless somebody wants to make a discovery type of roll, you might not know exactly what the hell you're looking at.
Mm-mm.
Mountaineer? They seem mountain related.
I'll take it. Yeah. Do a tract.
Okay.
Do a tract one. Put something together, and then again, the amount of power that you'll get will be questions you can ask, and that might determine.
Well,
some things
with
you might
my
know.
rolls, I'm about to fail terribly, but here we go.
I have faith in you. You've got this.
This game doesn't like me.
I bet it does. See?
Okay. I rolled an 11 and I
Okay.
got 2 power.
Okay, so you can ask 2 questions, basically. Is sort of what we're after here. Like, so what would you like to know about these creatures?
The 2 questions that I would that Kick would immediately ask. Now what the fuck are you? And what do you mean there's danger coming? What are you warning us of?
So this is more of a what do you already know, not necessarily what you asked them. Like this is something you would know just by looking at them.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Then what the? Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are aware of the fact that there are like fairies and elves and such in the deeper forests and things like that. And I don't know, and I know that Snaggletooth has had encounters with them, and all of you know that your friend Jack has a little pixie that kind of flies around with him from time to time. Or at least he says it looks like an insect, but whatever. And then you just recently saw a fairy inside of some sap by the Ghost Meadow. But Kick, you would know that there are stories both from your Highland clans and such of like mountain fae or like mountain gnomes or mountain dwarves. There's different names for them, but kind of a common phrase that maybe or common term that you've heard is Coblenai. Is they're like they're kind of like this. They're relatively peaceful people if you believe the stories, but they live deep down in the bowels of the earth beneath the mountains, and they don't usually come to the surface. There are stories of them, maybe from the past, like leading folks away from potential dangers in the caves. But otherwise, they're like they kind of keep to themselves. But they're very rarely are they near the surface. That's the first thing you would know.
Sure. And then I guess knowing that, and I'll put a pin on the second statement in a second here, but knowing that, she'd like look at Aldwin and go, you got a bit of goblin eye in here. You better go get him some water and some medical attention. They're good folk from the stories of my people, you know. And then I guess her second question would be like, I presume light hurts them. Like, would blindfolds historically have they ever been on the surface?
I mean, you might have heard a story of them coming to the surface every now and then, but like if it's like a bright day, like their eyes would be hurt. It's because they're just subterranean. It's not like it's like gonna blind them or poison them or anything. It's just like it's a painful, it's a painful thing to have this sudden brightness.
But it's not gonna like fully burn their skin and blister them or anything. It's just painful in the eyes.
Exactly. They're not like vampires or anything like that. Yeah.
You don't know in these magic realms like this. You say that like it's an obvious thing here now.
I just let you know. It's not like it's not
they're
like
not vampires. Sure.
Yeah, had you gotten 3 power, you could have asked, are they vampires?
Well, the vampires though.
Sorry, you're out of power.
Oh no.
One of them has fangs. Okay, so like Aldwin, it's like, I've not seen these like since I was a boy. You know, down here. What are you doing up here? And they're like looking at, we're dying is what we're doing. Listen to what she says. We're thirsty. And they're like, okay. No offense intended. And you see, he kind of waddles off. Shakes a little bit.
And Morgan's, I'm pretty sure she got something like to refill like a flask or something when we were at the tavern last session. So
probably,
she'll like, while he's getting you something that'll actually be good for you, you might want a little bit of this. And she'll kind of like pass along her kind of like leather skin or something that's got some booze in it.
One of them is the one that I'll say the first one that Lloyd saw, and the one that's been doing most of the talking, and the one that probably looks the least injured. He was kind of his leg was pinned, but the others look way worse than he does. He'll grab it. Thank you. He'll take a sip and things have changed. It's been a while.
Sorry, not going to do so much for the thirst, but might help the mood a little bit.
Fine. And he just kind of tilts his head back and drinks the whole thing.
That was.
Whew. I feel better. Thank you. Oh goodness. Oh, you got any more?
No, but there's a tavern just a few steps. Well, maybe a few dozen steps that way. There's plenty to refill.
If we can get you hats or blindfolds that might be slightly visible through, you can get outside to get some more drink if that's what you want. But I think you better see a healer before you get more drink.
And then, like the one that's been talking looks back at the 2 that have been hurt, and you can see his face kind of gets very serious for a moment because he's been sort of joking and teasing. And he says, that's my brother right there. And he's pointing at the one that you can see has his like the gouges kind of across the chest. I don't know if he's gonna make it. You've got someone around here that could patch him up. Where we could. We'd be obliged for your help.
I believe Aldwin's got a good medical team for the miners up there, so
Aldwin's comes back and he's got like a bar across his shoulder and he's got these pails, these buckets, and he's like, I've got water, I'm here. And he's like stumbling around a bit. But he starts like handing out the water, like he's got these big old ladles, just kind of scooping it. Like the 3 of them are drinking it. One of them you can tell tries to get up, his leg kind of buckles. The other one, the brother, you can tell doesn't even want to stand. Like it's like this horrific claw, like right down the middle.
Well, I'm at least gonna. I got an idea to put a little something in the scratch, at least, just to hold you together a bit. I ain't gonna be nothing too spectacular, but don't want no infection in there.
Aldwin, how far away is your healer from the entrance of the mine?
We can probably find a healer in the village. Come on.
All right,
you can carry him. I can lead you there.
All right. Keck will grab the one that won't even stand up, and she'll like look over to Snaggletooth. You're short enough. You might be able to give the man with an injury on his leg a little bit of a side to lean on.
Yeah, it's okay, be like a big brother almost. Snaggletooth is enjoying the fact he's actually taller than somebody for a change.
Taller than them. Yeah. Yeah.
I got you, little fella.
And so,
Keckle just looked down at you.
So each of you like kind of helped somebody up or whatever it might be. And like, does anyone want to do anything else in this scene before we cut to the healer?
But before you go along there, we were looking for miners, and I know you're not the miners, but did you see any miners in the way from where you were to where you just were there?
You can see they all kind of look at each other a little bit, like there's a bit of hesitation, and like there's a kind of a dark look.
If they're lost down there, then I don't think you're gonna find them. Cuthrall's probably got them by now.
Who?
It's roaming about. You can almost, if your nose are really good, you can smell it right now.
And you can see all of them, because they all have like these big pronounced noses, and they're all like sniffing. And you can see like,
you could smell it coming. It got my brother a bit, and several of us. And then we got cut off. So if there's miners of yours down there, then right to say that I don't feel too good about them making it out.
What are you calling it? A what again?
They kind of look at each other like surprised that you don't know.
Yeah, it's a demon. Fire and stone and iron and that sort of thing.
Oh. Is that sort of thing likely to leave out from the caves, or does it tend to stay down below?
Oh, it's gonna come out now. Whatever you all did up here broke everything loose. And now all the tunnels that were kind of shut off, keeping it all contained, now they're all broken free. And so it's roaming around doing whatever it wants. And what it wants, well, it wants to feast. It got us. We were just passing by. We don't mean no harm to anybody. And it just called out to us from the darkness. Sounds like our mum just calling out. Saying, Noggin, come help your mama. And then we went and saw. It was this shifting, smoky, sulphurous thing just moving about. Eyes red like burning coal, and the odor smelled so foul. Used to be 9 of us. Now there's only 3 of us. Only 3 of us? Where'd the rest of them go?
And you can see like they're all kind of shaking their heads, very sad.
You might want to get your men out. You got a bell you can ring to call them back?
I'm gonna do that, of course, but we can't go leaving folk down there, though. But we gotta warn folk.
And so, as you guys, assuming that you're having this conversation as you walk out, definitely there's like a big bell that he's like ringing, and so it's like it's like echoing down the halls here.
Also, I'm holding onto that pickaxe for now.
Well,
yeah, it's fine. You put in your put it as a tag in your backpack.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And if anyone else wanted to pick one up, there's plenty of tools around here.
So we should go back and try to find the miners then. Yes?
Yeah.
I mean, we should, there's some creature down there that's looking to eat them. We don't want that. We want to try to help them, right? Get these ones off to the doctor, sure, but then we should go back in. This is what we do, right? I know it's not our village, but it's close enough. We still help them.
Have we done seen like stuff pretty scared or something out and about? Who knows if this thing had already left the cave once before?
Oh no.
Apologies. You said your name was Nod?
Noggin?
Aye,
Yay.
The one who's been talking.
Yay.
I'm Noggin.
Nice to meet you, Noggin.
That's Goggin.
Goggin, okay.
And that's Boggin.
I see a theme. Does the...
What's the theme?
In your names. Anyway, does the Cuthrell fly?
Say, raising wood, it's in the tunnels. The ceiling's not that high up, but yes, it could. It's like a cloud, you know? It's like smoke and dust and like little tiny pieces of metal and shifting around. Yes, it could. If it wanted.
Oh dear.
I don't know if it is the thing that came out of the snake then and flew away, but it could have been, I guess.
There's a snake out here. No, I don't like snakes. No.
It's
dead one.
Far away. And dead. Like she said.
Okay. So I'll say at this point, you guys are like back by that staging area, which is just outside the mine entrance. You can see someone will say, Aldwin sends someone to fetch the healer, who comes moments later, rushing up. You can see like a kind of a slender man, clean shaven, kind of really looks out of place for a mining town. He looks very clean. Whereas everybody else has definitely got a little bit of soot in their fingers, or fingernails definitely have some grime underneath them. But he comes up and he's well dressed, introduces himself as Heffen, and he kind of gets down. He kind of does a double take at what he's looking at, and then begins to sort of treat them one at a time, starting with the one who has the bad claw marks. What are all of you doing in this moment as like happening?
Hey, Aldrin, I got myself a crazy idea. This pretty sizable town, pretty prolific. You all got any like mason or bricklayer around here?
Of course. Yeah.
So there's that stuff that like
stone cut is sluiced that way.
I don't know exactly the nature of it, but I know sometimes there's that stuff you mix up that you put between the stones and it kind of makes them stick, right? What if we took some of that and some water? We come across this thing that's all swirl and smoke and little chips and stuff. We toss that into it. We toss the water into it. We muck it up. Make it maybe a little more manageable.
Okay, we can do that.
And he kind of calls. You see like a group of miners are coming out. They're all like looking, and everyone's shaking their head like, no, couldn't find him. And we'll say the foreman sends off another runner to kind of track down one of their stone cutters to like bring some of the equipment, talking about some of the materials. And shortly thereafter, you see like these big broad-shouldered people kind of coming through, and they've got these big sacks. They just kind of plop them right down. One of them is kind of behind them, pushing up. It looks like a cart, like a wheelbarrow, basically. And it's got some tools and such, kind of like what Kik has with her mobile forge. But this is more like a mobile like cutting station for like brick and stone laying. And they start to sort of show you a little bit of how this works, Snaggletooth. Mix this and mix that up.
Greatly appreciate it. I don't know exactly how it will work, but from what they described, I'd love to ground it, so to speak.
That's a
you've got
creative idea.
We could say you've got like a sack. It's heavy, but you're a strong dude. So you can take a sack of like this powder that they use to kind of mix in and create that paste.
Okay,
basically mortar or something. Okay.
Noggin, could you tell me more about this demon? Is it bigger than me? Smaller than Kik over here, my friend?
He kind of looks up, and now that you guys are out of the tunnels, you guys are standing up at full height, and we know that like Kik is quite big. So like he's like, oh, look this, and you're almost like you're probably twice his size, like literally twice his size. And
100%.
And when you ask him that, Lloyd, he's like,
it's hard to say exactly how big it is, but it's bigger than you. It's bigger than even her. It's like a big shadow. It shifts and it moves. You can smell it coming, and it'll sing to you. Well, it'll talk to you. I should say it'll call you from the darkness, and it'll be a voice that you recognize, and it'll try to get you For us, it was our mom. You, it might be someone else. These miners, these friends of yours, I suppose.
I suppose it's another omen. I translated that rock we found. It spoke of the dry mines and the earth broken.
Oh.
Aye, well, seems like a lot of things are going wrong right now.
We didn't do it, by the way. You mentioned that we up here were making the things. We weren't the ones what did that. It was the earthquake just happened, and the all of that. We didn't cause that. We didn't want that to happen. We didn't do anything to make it happen.
Someone broke it.
It just happened. There was a whale, huge fish, just beached itself. We didn't do that. It just happened.
What? Did you just say something about a big fish
And yes,
beaching itself?
and I will say the name that is escaping my brain at the moment, but I'm going to say what it is.
Runeval.
To him.
And they'll be like, what? Because they would have no idea. They're, they're mountain, dwarves, gnomes, knockers, whatever you want to call them. Yeah.
It's like a Jorvindal or something. It's like the
Runeval.
Runeval. That's what it was. The Runeval. Big as a mountain.
Big as a mountain.
I
A whale.
know. Wasn't
A
that
big
large.
fish fell on it. Well,
Yes.
that'll do it. That'll break a mountain if you drop a fish the
No,
size of a
that's
mountain on
not-
top of another mountain.
not
Why
what
are
I
you
meant.
dropping this fish? I don't
just-
like the surface at all. I don't like it. This giant fish falling
It was
from the
just
sky.
a mountain for scale. It didn't fall on the mountain, just size of mountain. Just
A size of a
Look.
large hill, I'll give you that, but not a mountain. I've been on those all my life, and that was not quite the same.
You've got fish the size of a hill.
that's
see,
what
the
I was
thing is,
trying to
she's
tell
a-
you.
She's a fisher by trade. They tend to make their tails very big.
It is
It's a-
true.
Like the fish tails are big. They're like the bodies are small, but the tails are like a.
That's one's accusing me of lying, is what he's doing. He's
no,
saying
I'm
that
saying you're an
I'm telling
excellent
truth.
storyteller.
Okay, I'm lost. Is the skull raining fish the size of hills?
Nah, it's not.
No.
The sea is throwing up fish the size of hills. It come out of the water and landed on the land.
What's the sea?
You're giving them references they would have no context for.
It's you. Okay, you know how there's rivers and mountains.
Yeah, rivers. There's lakes. All
Yes,
those sorts of stuff.
yes,
There's
so-
a big one down way under. We live around. Well, we used to live around it.
So if you
I
know
like
what a
lakes.
lake is, so you know what a lake is.
Yeah.
Well,
of
we
course.
have lakes up here too, and when they get really big, we call them seas.
Why would you do that?
Have different names for different things. Is that not a thing that you do? You have something that's smaller, you call it
No.
one thing. Something that's bigger, you call it a different thing.
Yeah, we say that's a lake, and that's a bigger lake, and that's the biggest lake over there.
We just said hill and mountain. Mountain is bigger than a hill.
Those are
It's
two separate
words.
things.
I don't
You're being
think.
daft now.
I think there's something to do with currents and waves, and seas have waves, and I don't think lakes have waves. So there really is a difference. I just. But
I
Lloyd,
don't know.
all of this to say,
Surface folk.
Lloyd was
So
right.
confusing.
Lloyd was right. There are things that the scratchings say, and they are coming to pass.
I have a really good example that would help Melissa, but I'm not going to.
I thought the hills and the mountain was pretty decent,
Yeah, no.
but
I think those are two separate things. Okay.
You
We
could have
should-
said a puddle in a lake.
Good set of puddle. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
well,
Puddle lake,
now
that
you
could
say
work.
it. Now that
Or
I've looked like the
pond
fool.
in the lake. Puddle pond lake.
I was having too much fun just listening to you.
Okay, so we'll say all of the miners that have been out searching for the missing, and the four missing folk who have been missing now for a while, they return, and it doesn't look like any of them had any trouble. They talk about like dead ends here and there, the earth rumbling, kind of strange smells and sounds, but nothing like they didn't encounter anything, and they're all kind of nervous because they're their missing friends are still missing. And you can see like Snaggletooth, you can add to your backpack the sack of the sack of the sand, basically. And the doctor, the medic who kind of came over, kind of has a fairly grim look when he's looking over some of them, and kind of, on like a little side conversation with the foreman, seems to express some concern over the one that has the claw marks, the one with the broken leg, and then Noggin, the one you've been talking to. He doesn't seem as concerned, but the third seems to be in some dire straits. And for the foreman, so Aldwin eventually kind of groups up maybe 15 or so, 16 or so people, and you guys can be part of this if you want. And they start kind of figuring, like he's like breaking down everything that these little mountain dwarves, mountain gnomes have been telling them. And like there's clearly a movement to try to hurry and get in there and find them before whatever this creature is finds them. So you can definitely tell that they're all very motivated. They don't really look like they're scared or worried about themselves. So the question though is, what are you guys doing as like this big conversation is happening over here with all the locals? The doctor and the foreman are having a conversation over there about the state of these, we'll call them gnomes just for ease. And then these three guys are, definitely injured and concerned. So what are you guys up to?
So what do you say then? Do we help them find the missing village folk?
Hey, I know these miners, and unfortunately one of my weaknesses is sentimentality, so I must say, they're old friends. I think I gotta go down there with them.
I think it's the right thing to do.
I agree. I want to take just a second to catch up with their doc. And we treated a critter out back with some wounds similar to this before. Now I got kind of like it looks like muck, but it'll help out. Maybe buy you some time.
I am a bit curious about this creature. Something I've never heard about. We can get an eye on it. It'd be something.
It could be something.
So Snaggletooth, were you looking to talk to the doctor?
Yeah, I wanted to help out. If there's rumblings that they're concerned that they're not going to be able to help him, like,
yeah, you can make a roll to see if you can help stabilize him.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Put together a pool, and I would say take a +1 from the doctor as well, as he can aid.
So I've got Heart of Gold, Help Those in Need, and Traditional Remedy.
Yeah, that makes sense. And this will be a tracked outcome because effectively you can buy down some of his wound because he is essentially sitting like a 5 on his clawed limit.
That'll get me to a 4 with the help, which is great. And I rolled an 8, so that'll get me up to a 12.
Hey.
12. Okay. So while you don't like just magically bring him back to life, whatever it is that you have, that little traditional remedy, and then the doctor might not even be familiar with it. He's like, what is this? What are you doing? What are you putting in there?
Oh,
it's going to infect him, don't you think?
No, not this one. You don't want to eat it. So the thing is, if you eat it, you will vomit for days. But on the other hand, I can't really explain it. It just kind of expunges stuff. And you don't want to, there's like a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. If you eat it, it's going to like make things come out the wrong way. But if you put it into something where you don't want it to go bad, it pushes the bad. I mean, I ain't a doctor.
Okay. Where did you find this thing?
Oh, I grow it back home.
You grow this miracle drug? Oh. Do you have any more of it? We get all sorts of injuries here. We get broken bones. We get burns. We get. And
he kind of looks over towards Kick, and remember that Kick's face and eyes are all burnt up as well.
We get burns, and we could use a bit of substance like this. We don't usually have it. We clean things out as best we can. We have poultices and such, and in very serious cases, we said go and see.
Well, you're seeing to
onto Ildren.
I'll give you everything I got on me, which ain't a lot, but you got a lot of folks to see to. This is all I got, but I tell you what, next time I make it back home, I can round some up. I'd be glad to, make a trip for you.
I would be most grateful, and we will, of course, find some way to compensate you for your generous donation.
Oh, I suppose it's time for us to go rushing in there, and hopefully you'll be ready to take care of us after whatever happens.
Let's hope that won't be necessary. We're out of bad luck the past few days. Luck is bound to turn, right?
It is. It's definitely good. It's always darkest before the dawn. I think. I don't know.
Yeah. And it certainly has a poetic ring to it. But if it's questionable, I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense. Right there, is this Goggin or Boggin?
Me? Oh no, I'm Heaven. I'm the doctor.
Oh,
this is
Heaven,
and then
good to meet you.
Yeah, and he's like he shakes your hand, and then like you get down to where Goggin is, and Goggin is the one who is the really injured one.
I'm just gonna assume he
Noggin's the one
looks like a
you've been talking
miniaturized Walton Goggin from Righteous Gemstones.
They all look like Walton Goggins in one way or the other.
I love it.
That's canon now. It's definitely canon. Every one of them is a miniature Walton Goggins.
I love it so much.
Various characters. Okay. All right. All right. So do you guys want to do any kind of like preparation? Grab anything? There are some tools and some items around here. Like there's things that you could potentially do before you descend into mines.
If anybody else would be willing to carry some water, I mean, I don't know if this will do any good or not, but
yeah, some preparations
well.
like supplies and light is needed. If I could repair my lantern at all.
Okay.
Ooh, that'd be good.
You can probably just grab like they probably have like helmets where they can affix like candles and things to them, which you would probably know pretty well because you and your uncle might make them and sort of ship some down here or something like that. So you could probably get one of those. It might take a little longer to repair the one that you've damaged, but if you're looking for something quick, you can grab one of these mining helmets.
All right, Alwyn, put us down. We'll help you.
And he comes over and he's like, I'm quite pleased, thank you so very much for your generosity. We greatly appreciate it. Fallow is one of our a fine young man. Certainly don't want anything terrible to happen to him. But don't worry, we'll all be searching. We've created a system, and like he brings you over to like a board outside the mine, and you can see like there's what looks like maps of the tunnels that they've drawn, and you remember seeing some of these back in his office, and it looks like someone had fetched them, and now they have them pinned up on this big board. And there's definitely suggestion that like they've written over certain parts to try to account for some cave-ins and some new openings and things like that. So you do kind of get a general sense of it. Anything else you guys want to do before you?
Morgan wants to get some tools because this is not her element. So she definitely wants to, there were some picks or some other things around. She definitely wants to kind of grab some of those things to kind of help fill up her backpack a little bit with some helpful things.
Yeah. Just go ahead and put like mining tools in your in your backpack. It's totally fine. Okay.
I would also grab one of the helmets
else?
with the lights because my hip lantern is also gone.
Yeah, all of these things are easily acquirable. Just add them as a tag into your backpack in case you want to use them specifically for something later. All right. If that's the case, if you're good, you can descend if you like. That kind of.
Oh boy.
All right.
We will. We're gonna get this done for you. We're gonna find your people and bring them out.
The folks that mentioned that they had smelt something odd. We might want to figure out where they were smelling it. Might it probably be a starting point?
Or what the smell was, so that we know, because our noses are not as quality as theirs. And that reminds me, they emptied my flagon. I've got to go.
I meant the miners, not the little folk. But yeah, you should go get some more drink.
just never leave home without it, as they say. Morgan will like run over to the tavern real quick and kind of get a refill on that before we venture. You never know when you might need to
get a
light it on fire when you need a light. You never know. It's very useful, not just for drinking, you know.
Okay. You race and fill up your flask. No problem. Right. Any last call for or anything else? Last call?
I
We should
know.
come up with the code word. They said this demon lures you. If a calm response sort of bit.
That's a good idea.
Ooh. What we could also do? We could get some cloth and shove it in our ears, and if we can't hear the call, we can't get tricked, right?
I
But
don't
how
know
can we hear
about
each
that
other?
one, but
I
Lloyd,
see
what do
your
you
point.
think about Rune Veil? Because that's not something they know about here, right?
Ooh.
That's our. What do you say? You say Runeville. I say Big Whale.
Mountain.
So this is our call and response. Someone
Yeah,
says
they
Runevale
have
and
no
someone
reason to
says
put those
mountain.
two things together.
No, because it doesn't make sense.
We'll use our own absurdity against them.
That's the best kind.
Yep.
The best. No one can trick us. Is that what you were thinking, Lloyd?
It's
That's a
perfect.
Okay. So you set up your safe word or whatever it is, and you head into the mines. And we'll say Aldwin kind of situates and directs people down these different paths, and you guys get your. Who do you think is leading the way? These tunnels are not they're not. Some of the ones you're going down are not reinforced, so you're kind of going down like just regular natural cave tunnels, things that haven't been structurally reinforced yet by mines here. It's like whatever caused some of the cave-ins and such is really going to reshape some of the network in here. Who do you think is leading the way?
Keck Namara would try to get in the front. I don't know if she'll actually succeed, but if anybody else is going to try to it, but she definitely would try to keep her friends behind her.
Okay, so you push you push down the tunnel that you are sent, and you find yourselves slowly descending. You can kind of feel this gradual decline in the earth. You've got your candles burning. Some of you still have your lanterns, so there's plenty of light. And you don't really hear the sounds of anything after a while. At first, you could hear the sounds of like other voices coming from behind you, but at a certain point, maybe a half an hour in to your descent and you're searching, everything just gets remarkably quiet. And every now and then, Oswald, who is still perched up on Snaggletooth, might just go like "caw," and it like echoes. But then, Kick, you're out in front, and the tunnel at one point really narrows until you see it's really just this slender sliver, and it's jagged rock on either side. But as you hold up your helmet and you kind of look through it, you can see on the other side of it there actually looks to be a room not unlike where you saw that obelisk, in the sense that it's kind of circular and rounded in a way. And you see what almost looks like tools or ropes or something like something laying on the ground, as if there was somebody at some point was in it. The problem is, though, is that there's about 10 feet of rock, all very tight, and sort of like each side of the wall is very, very jagged. How would you go about handling that, Kick?
Extreme cave-in hasn't been invented yet in this time, so it's not necessarily something we should think of, but I think we're going to have to go. She's probably just going to have to squeeze through. I don't have a specific tool that's going to be good for this. Looking at this sort of long, narrow passage, is it something that she believes she could squeeze through, or is it something where she thinks she's going to have to widen it?
I would say it's one of those situations where, like, theoretically you could, but it's also one of those things where, like, boy, it would suck if you get stuck in there.
Yeah. All right,
you're fairly big.
Yeah, I am.
Like you especially. You're fairly big.
Yes,
This is
where it's bad. She'll turn and kind of look behind her. I don't want to do this because I don't think it's very safe. There's a bunch of abandoned equipment ahead, and that could mean something else has taken out the person who brought it here, but the passage is a bit narrow, and I am the largest of the group, so I probably should go last.
Lloyd or Snaggle, one of you should probably go first as the wee ones of the group.
Well, I suppose Lloyd volunteered to go into the unknown last time, so I'm due.
All right, Snaggle.
We should tie a rope so that you can either pull me through at the last, or I can pull you back through if you can't fit.
And Morgan, as always, has her stores of rope that she had kind of gathered back from our new friends, and here you go. Around your tail, around your waist. How do you want it?
I prefer around the waist. It can. You don't ever want to pull a tail the wrong way. It's hard to get back in place.
I don't have one, so I don't know about these things. But lift your arms. And so she'll, like, as a good fisherwoman, knows how to do all the knots and whatnot. So she's kind of got the good knot of the rope around the waist.
Okay. So Snaggletooth, you got the rope. You feel secure in it. Give me a roll. This is just going to be a quick outcome.
Okay.
Just to determine how difficult or what potential consequences you might face along the way. Like, so what do you think you're using to help squeeze through this ridiculously tight claustrophobic crevice in the wall?
Okay. See, I don't feel like being strong necessarily helps you a ton in this situation.
I mean, you can pull yourself
Beaverkin would help you
a bit.
Yeah.
Beaverkin is smaller, so I think Beaverkin in this case would probably help.
Make it the right size.
Do that. I'm wondering, do we have anything on us? We've got some of our equipment, our gear. I wonder. I was trying to think if I have anything on me that could be like, because I've done some unguents and stuff like that for healing, but I'm trying to think if there's anything on me where he could use some of his stuff on, would just kind of like oil himself up.
I'll tell you what. I mean, would you like to say you could probably burn your vegetable garden tag and say you use whatever you have to kind of juice down or like mulch up, and then just kind of lather yourself up with it? Do that,
because this feels kind of like it. I feel like one of the way or the other. I'll burn it. Why not?
Well, burn will give you 3. You don't have to necessarily. I was just kind of throwing it out there as an option. So the idea being, like, what I was throwing out is the idea of, like, you get it and you just kind of like mash it down and you kind of create this sort of juicy paste, which will allow you to lather yourself up a little bit better. And it potentially could lather up everybody else if they decide to come.
So I like that idea. I'll go for it. All right.
Okay. All right. So between your Beaverkin, your vegetable gardens, you should have 2d6 plus 4.
All right.
Burning
Does the rope help him at all for me?
I don't necessarily know if it's going to help him get through, but it could help him in a situation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If something goes wrong and he needs to mitigate a consequence, it could probably come to play there.
All right. So give that a go. And that's going to be great. That's going to be 14.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. You get through without issue. You are small enough. You grease yourself up. There's a grease Beaverkin going through this tight little squeeze, and you just right out the other side when you get to the other side, and you find yourself in what looks to be in a kind of a flattened, leveled room. It does, in fact, look all around you like this has been a leveled room, and you can see what Kick saw when she pointed out is there's tools and such on the ground. But you also notice that in the middle of the ground there is this circular hole, and when you take a look at it, you realize like it is like a proper like shaft. It could be a mine shaft. It could be. But it's not natural. Like, it's just too perfect of an opening. And you see hammered into the rim are like climbing pitons. You know, like they're like hammered in, and you can see there's a rope that's dropped down it as if someone climbed down this thing. And there's no other way out of this room when you look around.
All right, y'all. Well, I try to leave a nice little greasy trail behind me. And it looks like somebody's done started climbing down over yonder.
All right, I'm behind you.
If you need, I can get up against the hole and you just kind of reach out and, lather your hands up.
Okay. I will say, because Snaggletooth burnt his vegetable garden, all of you will be able to have a one-use tag to say you got lathered up by Snaggles. But I want anyone trying to push through here is going to do a roll, because it doesn't mean you're not going to get through. It's just a question of whether you get scraped or stuck or freaked out. Or, you roll 2 1s and the whole earth, the mountain falls on you.
Oh dear.
That'll be me.
So Lloyd, you're next.
Yeah. Apply some dodge harm, maybe, if there's any larger spikes that I can avoid while squeezing through.
Absolutely. I think your acrobatic agility comes into play for sure as well.
All right.
Okay.
Use those
Then
two
you've
with
got
the grease
your
mod.
There you go.
Grease mod.
Ooh, pretty good. 12.
Nice.
Okay, 12, you're good. You make it through without issue as well. You pop out the other side. Morgan, do you go next?
I do. I'm gonna try to make an argument for natural swimmer that I'm just gonna launch myself through.
I mean, we talked
Swimming
about
through
the
Earth.
comparison between mountains and oceans.
Crazy.
This is just an ocean of Earth, right? She's gonna swim through it.
Comment in the YouTube down
There's not a lot
below
different between Earth
about what you think about swimming through rock.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything that
I don't
says
see this
something
one. I'm
innocent.
sorry.
No, I don't know. I'm rolling it. I've just got the +1 for the.
You got the +1.
Yeah. That's an 8.
Okay. All right. So I'll say all you do, you take scrapes.
Yeah.
Like you got scrape 1. That's it. You make it through, but you find yourself kind of getting cut here and there. Nothing terrible. But when you come out, you do see a big gash on your arm. It'll heal up pretty quickly. It's not like it might leave a light scar. It's not going to be any threatening thing, but you definitely got cut on through. What about you, Kick?
Well, I've got Mountaineer and Highlander, but I am battered from, I think that's still the Ox battery. So that's a negative, I would imagine. And then the +1 from Snaggletooth's special oil. So I will add a -1 as the total for battered.
I think the net is a 1 because you've got
Highlander,
-2.
Mountaineer, and then -2 for battered, which brings it back down to 0, and then you're right. So it's
but you got the V8.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got the V8. All right.
Oh, we all smell like tomatoes.
No, that's Lloyd's. There we go. 8. All right.
Okay.
Not the worst.
Same thing as Morgan.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing as Morgan. You make it through, but you do find yourself getting kind of scraped a bit, and so you're probably even worse than everybody else because you're just bigger.
Yeah, should
You're just bigger.
Add 1 to battered, or should I do a new one?
Okay. You can go ahead and just mark the 1. So the way it works is you're already battered 2, so you're just gonna go ahead and mark in the 1.
Okay, that's kind of what I was asking.
This does mean though that if you were to take like a physical damage, even if it's just 1, it would accelerate up to 3.
Yep.
Which is the sad thing. Kind of how this works. But yeah. Okay.
Oh, you made it.
So all of you
didn't I tell you to look out for that thing on the right, and then you just went right against the thing on the right? I tried to tell you.
I did a good scrape on my arm. That's for sure. It's going to be a bad one. I'll have to get it stitched up once we're out of here.
It's matching, though. I told you to avoid it, and now we just look like we made the same mistake twice.
I don't have the space to avoid it. You might notice I'm a bit wider and taller up here.
That you are. Snaggletooth gave all of the good stuff to the much needed, but I think this is going to leave a scar.
Now, what little pumpernickel of a miner decided to climb down a very obvious giant hole in the middle of a room that clearly is evil and unnatural?
Oh, anyone down there?
Oh, yeah, she slaps Lloyd.
Falls in. It echoes. Anyone
no. Let's make the best of it. Let's listen to how long he screams before there's a thump.
It's a big splash. 1, 2. Let's go to these 100 yards.
We're
Okay,
gonna
so
be
all of you are in this
recreating
room.
the movie The Descent in a moment here. I don't think we should be laughing.
Ooh.
Absolutely. I love that movie. It's a really
so
good movie.
much.
Okay. So Lauren, put that in your list. Okay, so you guys are around a circular shaft that is clearly not a natural shaft. Like this is definitely something that was created. The ground has also been flattened. There's what looks like the remnants of some reinforcement on the walls, and it definitely looks like on one side of the room there was a cave-in. Like there used to be like a way out of here or a way into here, but it doesn't appear to be so now as everything's collapsed. But this looks to be the only way down. There are already ropes secured. It doesn't look like there's any issues with the ropes themselves. As you kind of check the P10s, they feel sturdy, they feel strong. And there's like basically two climbing ropes that go down. What do you guys want to do?
Not go down.
Only one way.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. All right.
Okay.
I'll try.
All right. So you guys climb down.
Shine the light down
I
as you
go
go
down.
first and see what. Try to help you. Give you a little.
That's true, because if there
Helpfulness as
is
you
some
go.
monster down there waiting to eat us up, it'll get full on just the half of you because you're so dang big.
Aye, yes. You'll all be fine because I get fill up on me. All right. Let me make
No,
sure
we
these
wouldn't let that
ropes
happen.
are sturdy enough.
I got the light on you, so when you're about to get eaten by the big thing, you will see
I
it all in its
appreciate
full
you.
glory.
Better write a song about me and the heroics from this. Is all I'm saying.
Yep. You'll have plenty of curse words, twice as many as usual.
I appreciate.
Wait 3
And,
times.
won't that be fucking nice, isn't it? All right. So Keck will tug the ropes and then sort of flip over so that her feet are against the wall as she propels herself kind of downwards.
Okay. So I'll say because you've checked the ropes, they feel good. You can start climbing down. I would say unless any of you have like a specific weakness that might apply in this case to like heights or climbing or falling or something like that, or just weak arms. I feel like you guys are country yokels. You're not just like random like city folk. Like I feel like you could climb down rope. Okay. So
Yeah.
is everyone's intention to go down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
We're brave.
It's about 100 feet, maybe, give or take, or 30 meters, something like that. And you each one by one drop down into what looks to be like an intersection of like 3 or 4 different tunnels. They kind of move out this way and that. You definitely see the signs of disturbance in the earth. Like you can see like a footprint here and some dust. You can see what looks like a scrape mark here, like somebody was maybe tracking themselves or whatever it might be. This doesn't look like it is a place that has structural reinforcement. So I would say to some degree, it might be kind of odd because where you came from looked like it was real, and then you're coming down here. So this might just be like a section of the mountain that they have yet to like fully start to mine, like they're getting ready to. And you hear the sounds of like dripping down one of the tunnels as you listen, and then you even hear the sounds of like I don't know, like a grumbling or a rumbling, like this little somewhere echoing in the darkness. Well, let's see, wasn't acted in a while. So Kick, you climbed down first. Snaggletooth, you went through the cave or that little fissure first. So Morgan, what do you think you do in this situation? Is you're like at this little network, everyone's hopped down, everyone safely climbs down. You hear a couple noises. You know that they came through here. They're not immediately in this area. What do you think, Morgan?
I would say Morgan, I'm not calling for this for a weakness, but like one of her weaknesses is literally call of the water. So she's, kind of like under a mountain and she hears dripping water. So that's going to be the thing that's going to pique her interest.
Okay.
Like, I hear a drip, drip, Drip. We'll go see where that is. See what that's telling us about where there's water, where there's a lake or something. And so that's what she's going to be listening for. She's going to try to follow that.
Okay. So this takes you maybe 20 feet down one of these caves. You are having to hunch a little bit, but only every so often. And every now and then you can stand, and other times you have to hunch. It depends on whether anything's hanging down from the ceiling. But eventually it opens up a little bit into a kind of a shallow cave. But on the far end of the cave, it looks like water is pushed up against the back of it. It stops here, and you can see various like rocks hanging down from the ceiling, from which like moisture is dripping and dropping into a pool in front of you, and you see like a little ripple kind of come every now and then. Definitely the source of the sound. Looking here, it does look as though, like in the immediate area where the water meets the rock and it's a little bit moist and everything, there's definitely some discoloration to the water. And you notice that like right in the shallows, there is some like tool, a little piece of item kind of buried in the shallows. As you look, you realize it's like a hand pick. It's not like a big two-handed pick. It's like something smaller, something like maybe like a gem cutter would look like. It just sort of checking out specific things here and there, as opposed to like this big old honking thing that Kick has been carrying around. And that's what you see.
Morgan would kind of call back to the group. Oi, found some tools over here. Someone's definitely been here. And so while she kind of like waits to see if kind of folks are going to follow her, she's going to do the always smart thing, which is lean over this pool of liquid and see what she can see beneath the surface.
Oh, that's never gone wrong in any of our games. But yes, we're definitely coming there.
Ever.
Never.
I mean, at least
you look over.
At least this time I didn't stick my face in the water. I'm just at least standing up and looking over.
It's true.
It's so you look over, and for maybe like a foot or two from the edge, like you can see the rock underneath it. But quickly, you can tell the water becomes kind of silty. What's going on with my hair? Kind of silty here and there, and it becomes a little bit more difficult to see. And then as the drip comes down from above, like and ripples the water surface, it becomes even harder for you to kind of see what's beneath it. So it's hard to really tell just from looking, other than that first feet where you see the tool.
Can I look a little bit around the tool a little bit more to see like if there's other prints or something there?
Sure. Yeah. If you kneel down and you start looking a little bit further, I'll tell you, you would notice like with your lantern shining that there is like what's the one that comes up out of the ground? Stalactite?
Stalagmite.
What is it?
Stalactite holds on tight. Stalagmite punches upwards.
Okay, stalagmite coming up out of the ground. You can see that there is like a swath of blood. You think it's blood because it's red, and then you see like drag marks, but they're not going into the water. They're actually coming away from the water.
Oh, everyone, we've got some. Looks like some blood here, as red as Lloyd's hat. Someone got hit and dragged here recently.
Oh boy!
I see the tool you pointed out too, and I'll reach for it.
Hey,
pick it up, and you have like a little stone hammer. Like you can do like it's a small hand tool, and it's for very precise kind of carving of rock away from usually more precious like gems and veins. Not bigger than that. But yeah, you have it. It looks to be intact. Doesn't look to be broken or anything. You can put it in your backpack.
Craftsman's lost the tool. They'll want it back.
Hi, let's hope there's someone to give it back to then. I don't like that they got called to this water and then quite obviously attacked here and dragged away.
So that's curious though. It wasn't, I looked in the water. I couldn't really see much. It's so muddy down there, but it wasn't that some, come up behind conch on head, drag into water. It's dragged other direction.
Aye.
Can follow it that way, at least, I suppose.
We should follow it.
Aye, unfortunately.
So you kneel down, you pick up everything up. You can definitely tell that the person was here, like at the water. You're not sure if they were like refilling like a water bottle or water canteen or something like that. But then you start to try to track the blood back a bit, and that brings you back towards like a different one of these caves. And every so often you see like a little splat against it, against the wall or against the ground. And then eventually you notice that it leads into this sort of dark cavern from which hang stalactites. You can see a series of stalactites. It almost looks like a mouth, like fangs hanging down in front. And then when you stand still for a second, you hear like a moaning or growling. Definitely a sound coming from deep in that dark recess.
And our lights don't reach that corner?
If you want to go further back, you can. I'm just telling you what you see when you get to the edge. It's one of those situations where I don't want to assume that you walk into
the obvious
towards
trap.
the weird sound.
All right. Shall we head together? Because I don't think this is a safe thing to do alone.
Right behind you.
All right. Well, let's. And she'll point her like headlamp light, candle light towards the darkness and start walking towards it. I attack the darkness.
Yes. Got a really high AC. Okay, as you go into this cave that clearly looks like a mouth, you get maybe 5 feet in, and the sound of continues and gets louder, and then the light shines to the far end of this sort of pocket in the wall, and you see a big, pale figure. When I say big, I mean like huge, like bear size. Except this one isn't so much furry. You don't see like a lot of fur on it, but you see like hair and skin, and this like kind of pale pinkish skin, and you see chunks of hair, like little patches, and you can see it's kind of curled up in the far recesses of this little cave. And then as you're moving the light down, you see its head, and its head, like the body looks like a bear that has hair and has hair instead of fur. And then when you see its head, it's almost mole-like in some ways, and you can see these little feelers coming out from where its mouth, like almost as if its mouth itself has like fingers coming down from the upper lips. Its eyes, if you can call them eyes, are currently closed, and it looks like it's sleeping. And you can see that there is a little splattering of blood, like right around those like feelers, right? So by its mouth.
What in the Maker's name?
We'll say 10 feet away from.
And we don't see, other than the blood around the mouth, the drag marks did lead us here. Do we see any?
It did lead you in here.
Ripped clothes?
You would have to, at this point, okay. I would require someone to do some kind of sneaky stealthy to get closer to see more than this.
What is worth, Lloyd, that thing don't match at all how they describe the demon. You'll probably be fine.
And I don't smell anything.
I worry that there might be more than one of the unnaturals down here.
Well, it's got kind of rodent sort of looking face, and you can trust them. Buck teeth are a good sign of trustworthiness.
Aye, but these are fingers, mouths, not buck teeths.
And Morgan just looks at the two of them, like, could you puts her fingers over her mouth. They're just like having this argument. She's just like,
you do see it. And I'm going to say like it's not like in deep slumber anymore. Now you can definitely tell it's a little bit alerted, but it's still kind of like it's not fully woken up yet.
I'll see what I can find out. And I'll look around, see if there's any bodies of the blood that dragged over here, what kind of creature this is, or learn anything about it.
Okay, so there's a couple different things there. So to me, if you want to see anything else, you would have to sneak up closer. So that would be a stealth test. if you wanted to just try to use your memory or your knowledge and suggest and see if you just know something about what this creature is, that's a different roll. So I think those are 2 different rolls there. You tell me which one you think Lloyd's going to do here.
Like the sneaking in. That sounds fun.
Okay. All right. We'll put together a couple tags for me. What do you think you're using?
I'll do some curious. Or just learning the environment.
You can use them both, man. You can always use as many that make sense together if you can justify it. If you think it makes sense in terms of what you're trying to accomplish, you're welcome to use them.
And maybe some acrobatic agility. I'll say sneaking around is part of it.
Sure. And I'll say you're also going to get a +1 from it because it would have been a +2, but because it's now started to wake up a little bit, I basically moved its slumber down to 1. And so you're going to get a 1 from that because it's still kind of asleep.
Okay.
Not fully awake yet.
So 4 total on this roll.
Okay.
Looks decent. I got a 9, so mixed.
Nice.
Okay. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to get close and you're going to get behind one of these large stalagmites coming out of the ground. You kind of duck down and you look around it, and you can see laying on the ground is like a bloody pack, like looks like a miner's pack, and like a dented, bloody looking helmet, kind of like the ones that some of you have been wearing, and definitely other suggestions that somebody has suffered a terrible fate. You don't see any signs of like rotten, terrible body parts, but you certainly see blood on the ground as if something was feasted on. The consequence is that this creature, suddenly its head rears up. It doesn't notice you, but it is no longer asleep at this point as its head lifts up, and you can see like its little finger lips are kind of like moving about, but you are safely tucked behind this stalagmite. However, you would now need to come back across its body to sneak back out. But it's very clear that somebody has suffered a terrible fate here.
Oh. I'll stay as still as possible, hand over mouth.
Okay, I'm going to say Snaggletooth. You're watching your friend. He sneaks up. And right as he's like looking around, you suddenly see the head of this thing come up. And this is the size of a big bear. You guys would know what bears are. It's certainly not like any bear you've ever seen, but it certainly is like the size of a large bear. And its head is now up.
So are we talking a grizzly or a polar bear size or a black bear size or a brown bear size?
I would say it's probably
It's bigger
probably
than
more
Kick.
black bear.
Black bear,
It's
okay.
not like
Not
giant
like grizzly bear.
but
Okay,
it's,
thank you.
yeah, it's not that big.
Yes.
And so its head like rears up, and you can see its eyes are just like these big globes of white. You would guess that maybe Snaggletooth, you're not even sure if it sees out of them, but it's like little finger lips are kind of moving about here and there as if it senses something, but it doesn't quite notice Lloyd. But it's definitely stirred and it's awake. Snaggletooth, what do you want to do, man? Spotlight's yours.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, if it looks like it's been munching on folks, my first instinct was initially to assume it was friendly, but I suppose that's probably not a good assumption. But I don't think it's going to see much. I reckon it probably goes more for either scent or sound. Maybe what might not be a bad idea is to just take a rock, and if Lloyd's over that way, just toss a rock over in a direction that's not where we are and where he's not, and see if it seems to key in on that.
This definitely has the classic feel of like a creature's lair, and like Lloyd has gotten really close to where it's sleeping. So it's a little bit like it's not like a huge spacious place, but there's room where you could throw a rock and draw its attention somewhere else for sure. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think no roll. I don't think you have to do that. You don't have to roll for it. I think you just throw a rock the opposite side of the cavern, and it lands and it scatters around a bit, and then it lumbers up. And it looks directly in the direction where the rock has like bounced off the wall, and it begins to slowly move there. It's kind of its back is not fully to Lloyd, but maybe it's kind of on an angle a little bit. So it could still potentially look over its shoulder and see Lloyd, but it moves right past that stalagmite. Lloyd, you kind of shift maybe along with it to keep yourself out of sight. And you can tell it's inspecting the side of the lair where the rock landed.
Take that opportunity to make it back.
Okay, give me another roll.
Some will be more hurried. I'll do like a sprint out with
Okay.
acrobatic agility.
Like that.
All right. You are going to have working against you.
Okay.
Well, I won't say what it is, but you will. It has something that could potentially sense you. So let's say you're going to have a -1 to the tag that's going to work.
So I'll get 1 total.
Okay.
I'm going to need a good roll here.
And don't forget, by the way, before you roll, if you really want to go for it, you can always burn a tag.
Oh yeah, huh?
And get +3. It just means you're not going to get it. You're not going to be able to use that tag for a little while. It's up to you.
I'll burn my sprint. Like I'm spending everything to get out of here as fast as
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that definitely makes sense. All right, so that's going to be a total of 4 for you, -1. So you have a +3 to this. So it's 2d6 +3.
Got this.
And if the consequence is pretty clear if you fail.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Morgan was going to be like, point to like the miner's bag to like bring something back for like everyone else. And then is like, that would be really loud. Maybe
Okay, I got a good roll. So
You
11.
got their tools anyway.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh.
11. You manage to time it perfectly and move quickly enough so that right when it reaches the furthest point where the rock was thrown, you bolt and like you are moving. And maybe you kind of scrape some stuff along the way. Maybe your ankle kind of twists a little bit and you make it back to the group. At one point, the creature looks back towards where you were and then starts to go inspect the stalagmite coming out of the ground. But it doesn't seem to catch you. And I would say from observation, Snaggle, you had brought this up. It doesn't. You would guess scent is not its main sense here, because otherwise it might kind of follow Lloyd out. It might be more movement or sound or tremors or something like that. But Lloyd, you make it back to the group at the entrance to this lair, and like you guys are like kind of peeking around the entrance to it. You have your lights as well, which doesn't seem to attract it too much either. But it is awake and it is poking around its home, trying to figure out what the hell just happened. But it doesn't seem to be following Lloyd. You guys want to do?
Oh, there's about to be food there.
We have its tools. Whomever the person was, let's head back. We can at least use that and let them know that at least some of them are gone.
It looks like there's a pack of 1, so there's still more to be found, perhaps.
I suppose there are some other routes we could take.
We should, but keep our eyes peeled, as it were. That would not have been one. I did not want to experience whatever those things would do if they came
let's
close.
move back here and away from this, since it does seem to react to sound. Head around.
Oh yeah, I assumed this was a like
Walking and talking.
Yeah, for
Walking,
sure.
talking. Yeah. All right. So where do you guys head next? Do you go back to where you climbed down, or do you keep searching?
As long as we have a sense of where we came down, then we probably would keep searching just to make sure there's nobody else or nothing that we could bring back with us to indicate what happened.
Okay. So you do have a general sense, like you can kind of work your way back the ropes and then find like a different path to take. Like you could certainly do that. All right. So you find yourselves moving around and through these dark halls, these tunnels, once or twice having to crawl, then stand again, find the spots where you can stand up straight, kind of crack your back, and then once more get on, scraping between the rocks themselves, and maybe an hour passes. And then you suddenly find yourselves in a stretch of rock where as you pass by, you notice there are veins in the rock walls, almost like these little pockets that seem to like reflect the light that you have on your helmets. The candles, some of your candles might be getting a little bit lower. Maybe you have some backups, but you can tell it's like reflecting weird. Like, and you start to see like it's almost like they glow, and it reminds you a little bit of like the sap pouring out of the ghost meadow tree, and you can see these big kind of orangey yellow veins. Like they're foggy and dusty, and they're splitting this otherwise like gray brown rock, but you certainly see them, and it's almost as if they absorb part of the light and they hold it. And as you walk past, it retains the light for a little while, and you look over your shoulder, and then eventually the light kind of gets released. It has this sort of lingering quality to it, and this and you get a stretch of this where you just see it every which way. Like every time you go down a path, like there's another patch of it, and there's another patch of it, and then there's another patch of it. And then at one point you find on the ground near one of these veins a pack, again, a mining pack. And you can see it has all sorts of stuff in it, all sorts of tools. And it looks as though someone was interrupted while hacking into the wall and pulling some of this rock down. And you can see the mining pack is filled with a couple samples of this as well. Morgan, what do you think? Anything that you would be doing in all of this?
So
with this discovery?
Morgan is definitely looking at this and seeing if it were something that she could collect some of, like if it's something that's like malleable, or kind of what it might take to kind of take some of this.
So yeah, I mean, like there's a bag of it, and as you pick up a chunk and look at it, Snaggletooth, you were given some.
Yeah, I was about to ask that in just a second.
Okay.
And you go into your pack, you pull out that trade that you did with the folks from Torhell, the couple, the married couple, and like you gave him the last of the brew from Morth's Tavern, and like he gave you this in return, and it's the same stuff, except there's just like this huge run of it, and you've got this big pack of it. It's hard to tell exactly what it is. You're not sure if it's a gem. You're not sure if it's some sort of substance. It's really hard to tell exactly what it is, but it's hard. And the light, you can tell, like when the flame gets close to it, it just kind of captures it and holds it for a little longer than you expect.
Morgan's like, hey, isn't this so interesting? This bag of substance.
Well, we ought to bring it up for... Maybe it has some identifiers in there, but clearly the person was working here and isn't, which makes me think what else is down this tunnel before we spend too much time standing here.
That does stand to reason.
Yeah. Oh, Snaggle, you've already got some of this.
Yeah, that's what I was just curious about.
Well, that's might and she looks at
like his whole trade was stonework and that sort of thing, and he had no clue what it was.
It's Malus and Davy Dorn.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe they've this area of the mine that they hadn't been into yet. Maybe they just went a little too deep, got into some things that they shouldn't have, and there were some local. It's like when you're in the water that there if you go too deep, there are some creatures that's where they live, and we were not meant to share with them.
I wonder if this is stuff that Noggin was saying, like people was messing with something they shouldn't have been, and it released something.
Oh.
I believe that might have been just the earthquake itself caused new tunnels and connections to be made. But that being said, we ought to talk to Noggin and his cohorts about these rocks. They might actually have an idea, since this is deep, dark down.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Deep, dark down? That's a good turn of phrase there, Kick.
I'm not going to give you what reference that's from because it's embarrassing, but let's keep going.
I'll keep talking so I can go.
Don't look that up. Don't look that one up. Deep darn. It's unlikely you'll be able to find it anyway. Moving on. We keep going just to double check. Nope, don't look it up. We keep going to double check.
I find a lot of references. It can be a lot of different things. Find a lot of stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you push forward?
So now we have two samples of this thing. One the Snaggle's got and one that Morgan's got.
I'd say we grab his whole backpack just so that we have it for his tools and as proof.
Mm-hmm.
You mean this backpack that I'm holding right?
Well, you said samples. I just thought you had taken the stuff out. But yes, if you have the backpack.
Well, yeah, I'd put it back in. Yep. Got it.
Okay. You push forward a little bit further through more of these tunnels. You feel yourself descending, but again, it's that kind of gradual descent. It's definitely the deepest I would think anyone has ever gone. I know, Snaggletooth, you've had some time in the sea caves that are to the north. But those are more like kind of pushing north into the northern mountains, into the kind of colder areas, but not so much going deep and down. Like this, you can definitely start to feel the air is different, and there's certainly a weight on your shoulders. And then I'm going to say, Kick, you smell something. It smells foul. It smells like, I mean, if you've ever had like a raccoon or some other creature like die in like an attic, or if you've ever been near the docks or like the back of the tavern when like all the fish guts are kind of thrown out and it's summertime and it's just like, ugh, but you're suddenly hit with that smell and you find yourself at a kind of like a T section, a crossroads, back the way you came, and then like this right and this left pass, and you feel this like very light breeze just wafting from right to left, and from it comes that horrific smell off to your right.
She would quickly hold up two hands, a finger to her lips, and just like the motion for stop with her other hand to the group behind her. And then she'll point to the right where the smell originally came from and do kind of like a wave in front of her nose motion to indicate bad smell for the creature that we had discussed earlier. And then I guess she'll look at Lloyd, who is the sneaky.
What are you saying? I don't understand.
Pointing, walking, pointing.
I think the creature that ate Noggins' brother might be down the hallway, but the scent is quite strong down there. It smells like Morgan during the summertime.
Hey now, you weren't whispering that quietly. I did hear that.
You're saying the demons down there.
I think it might be a possibility. We ought to be very cautious here. That's why we were whispering and being quiet like.
Should we take a look? Is it dangerous?
You should take a look.
Only me?
I'll be right behind you.
Well, the thing is, if you can verify that it is what it is, we can start getting our mix put together.
If you'd like, we'll come with you. Just you have the lightest footsteps of us.
Oh, all right, but if anything happens to me, make sure my uncle knows.
I will be right behind you. I'm not likely to suffer alone.
I'm gonna tiptoe by myself.
Okay. Give me a roll. There are two things working against you, so you're gonna have a -2 on this. And then the other question I have is, are you keeping your light on? The reason I didn't penalize you guys before is that creature didn't give a shit about light.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that all of these things down here do. So in this case, there's two things working against you, and then you have the light that's on your head. So it's a question of whether you want to have it or don't have it.
Yeah, is there any other light source besides us that give us any sight?
Shine the light on the rock and then carry the rock.
That, sure. It'll give you temporary light for a little while.
Okay.
Good thinking.
I'll do that just so I can see where I'm stepping a bit.
Okay. So it's like you hold that chunk of orange, like almost glassy, translucent rock. You hold it next to the flame for a bit. Then you douse the flame, and you have this dull orange glow. And you begin to push down the hall. Put together your pool, and I'll say, since you turned off the light, there's only one thing going to be working against you at this point. So you have a -1.
Okay, I'll do a similar pool as last time. My curious, learning the environment, and acrobatic agility.
Okay. You're curious, you're looking away. So that I consider curious like you're moving slowly because you're looking and looking and looking. Same with learning environment. So it's just sort of like conveying the idea of you slowly, kind of putting your footing down carefully.
And you said -1 negative.
Yeah.
I'll even burn learning environment to be extra careful.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. I like it. All right. Give it a roll, man.
Okay. Both the ends of the spectrum of the dice. I got an 11 total.
Okay.
Nice.
That is phenomenal. So that is you're good. So full success. No consequences. What that means is it's going to allow you to sneak up to what looks like almost like a hexagonal cavern, where you can actually see like almost flat walls on some of these. Other cases, you can see they're like fractured and broken as the earth kind of broke down on it. And it occurs to you, Lloyd, that you think this is like a structure, like a subterranean structure of some kind. And you can see like there are a couple columns, a few of which have been broken, that also reinforces that idea. And you can see at the center of it, there is like this swirling, glowing like mist, this dark mist. But you also, as you're looking, can see these two kind of orange-red coals floating around within them. And then you can see floating in the air with it, like hanging down from above, where there's a little bit of light from this creature is giving off this orange-red glow. You can see there's two figures. There's a man and a woman. You can see they're both wearing what looks like mining gear. And they're both hanging kind of upside down. And you realize, like, you don't see anything that they're hanging from. They're just kind of floating in the air in the midst of this series of broken pillars in this hexagonal room. While this creature is of sand and dirt and coal, and like you can see chunks of rock in them. It's just swirling around them. And you're not exactly sure what it's doing, obviously, but you can see it here. It's probably that creature, that Kuthral that they mentioned. And like you have like a moment before that light is going to dim, but it doesn't look like it's bright enough yet to have attracted the attention. You've kept quiet and you're looking in. Is there anything you would want to do in the moment that you have before the light begins to dim to the point where you can't use it?
Oh, turn back a bit just to confirm what I saw. Let the others know when I make it back.
Okay. So since you turn back immediately, I'm not going to require any kind of roll to move in the darkness. You make it back. You can kind of relay what you saw to everybody. They're a little bit further up.
It's just like the little folk talked about. The Kunthral's there. I saw fiery eyes. It's debris floating around.
Did you see
Peculiar sight.
any remains from the miners there?
Yeah, you said there was like a man and a woman floating around, or was that?
There was a man and the woman that were floating kind of upside down. You can tell because the woman's hair was like hanging down further, right? And they were both kind of just hanging in the air. You're not sure if they were like being like part of that swirling dirt and debris that the creature was, or if they were just magically hanging. Who knows, right? And you just saw them kind of hanging in the midst of this series of broken columns in this room. And again, it was a room. It was clearly like a subterranean like room of some kind. It wasn't just a cavern.
Yeah, there's some sort of building built under here. Columns. And I saw these two folk floating upside down. I have no idea what's happening.
Well,
They alive?
Hard to
I
tell.
think we have to assume so, and we got to act.
I have got a terrible idea. I
Let's hear
think if myself and Snaggletooth and Lloyd I can distract this tornado creature. Morgan might be able to fish them out of the floating tornado, and then we can try to throw some of your mortar dust in there.
Yeah, toss it. Maybe one of us can do tossing that. Somebody else has the water. Because I think you want to toss the dust in first, let it get swirled in. Then somebody else's tosses the water. So it's kind of getting mucked up from the inside, right? And then all the better for somebody else to go, we slow it down enough to do the rescue.
I'm sorry. I fished a bridge
fished the people out
earlier
of the tornado.
today, and you want me to fish the people today.
A fisher of men.
Well, a fisher of miners. But,
I'm sorry.
That's but I think Snaggletooth. I look at Lloyd's tiny little scrawny arm. I think. Do you want the dust or do you want the water? And I'll take the other one.
I suppose I got the big sack on me already.
Well, then I will grab the water and we'll 1, 2, 3. You first, and then me second. After it mixes, well. If we're all right with my incredibly dumb idea, unless anybody has any other better ideas.
Morgan kind of takes out the flask that had been refilled, and she's like, here to good ideas, and takes a little bit of a drink and kind of hands it over to anybody else wants a little.
Here to ideas. Well, she'll take a swig.
That's why you were born with that big old head of yours. You can have a big old brain.
I suppose. Well, let's go be brave.
So each of you take a couple shots. Kick says, let's go be brave. You turn down the hall back towards this hexagonal chamber. And we'll go ahead and we'll end there for tonight. And we'll pick up on this crazy plan next week.
Hey.
It's going to go great.
It is.
Which one of you make it up?
We prepared ahead of time.
Yeah.
We brought stuff ready to go.
I mean, the mortar dust is brilliant. If it works, it's good, but it's still a great idea regardless.
It is definitely great. It's good thinking. Okay, that's it for tonight. Then let's do a couple closing plugs and we'll get on out of here. I'm going to start by talking about old Huckleberry, our dear friend Steven, who was hanging out and chat with us for a little while tonight. He's got his game coming up in about 2.5 weeks or so. It's going to be up on Backer Kit. It is a Weird West action horror. And you can grab the PDF version right now on drive-thru if you don't want a physical copy. But if you want a nice fancy physical copy with all sorts of cool little extras, bags and cards and all sorts of cool dice, then you should go follow it on Backer Kit. Maybe pledge a little early, make him happy so he quits complaining to me all the time. That would be awesome. Then in terms of streaming, tomorrow night I think we got some Conan. Saturday I think we got some. What are we doing on Saturday? Call of Cthulhu. That's the name of that game. One of the older games. Forgot the name. Call of Cthulhu. And then Monday, I'm going to hopefully get us back to Somewhere in Danger if I can get a crew together for that. Tuesday, what do we have, Kipser?
Oh, we've got some fun cyberpunk millennials that are definitely not running through a tower of capitalism and NFTs and crypto bros, and are definitely not going to have to destroy the entire structure.
I stole a golf cart.
You did. Yeah, we've got Long in that game through fun. Jeff.
Yeah. Great. It's great.
And we've got a new player called Alex who's joined us to help us out with a hacking ability for the first time.
He's hanging out with us for a little bit in chat, I saw.
Yeah,
he's hanging out too.
Yeah.
So he hopped into the chat on a game in which he wasn't playing. Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
We all do that here.
Yeah. I'm just teasing. All right. That's it. That's it for us. Let's go ahead and rate somebody. We're going to rate Insomnia Night RPG. They're friends of ours, and they're doing something fancy. So have a great rest of your night. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, they will.
Bye.